Welcome to my channel. So today I wanted to test these Mr. Beast chocolate bars. I also want to use the wrapper to put on my nails. So I'm going to be using this acrylic, and this is a clear acrylic. So I'm going to be using this acrylic to encapsulate the wrapper. And let me go ahead and open this up. So this is how it looks. Devour, share. So this is for you guys. And this is for me. Let me go ahead and just taste it. I mean, I don't know, I don't taste the sea salt. So I'm just gonna share this one with you guys. And I'm gonna take a bite out of this one. And so this one doesn't taste like it's dark chocolate. Let's open this one up. I mean, the chocolate is okay. So this is for you guys. So far this tastes the most like dark chocolate, and then it kind of tastes like dark chocolate, and this one doesn't. This is for you guys. And this is the quinoa crunch. Reminds me of Captain Crunch chocolate. And so like I said, they all kind of taste like dark chocolate. Except maybe for this one. I'm kind of surprised this doesn't actually taste like sea salt. They all taste alike. Dark. This one doesn't. They're not bad. And it says that it has 5 ingredients. Let me put this away and then I'll be right back. Alright, so now I'm just gonna grab my cuticle pusher and push back my cuticles and clean around the cuticle area. Alright, so now I'm just gonna add some water onto this lint-free paper towel and then just clean around it. Alright, so now I'm just gonna grab my top clear coat and apply that on my nail beds, because at the end of the video I do pop my nails right off. So now I'm just gonna cure this for about 60 seconds. Alright, so I'm going to be using these square tips, and these are a non-C curve. Alright, now that I have my nail tips ready, I'm going to grab my Honey Fan nail glue, and this is a brand new one, that's why it looks like that. I'm just going to open it up, and I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors and cut the tip. Son of a gun. Alright, so now I'm just going to add a drop or two around my nails and kind of just spread it around. And since I do have some clear top coat on the nail kind of just slides off sometimes, so I have to hold it without moving it around. And sometimes I do blow on it, like blow air on it, so it can dry up faster. Alright, now that it's nice and dry, I'm going to go ahead and do the same exact thing to the rest of my nails. I just apply a drop or two of glue and kind of spread it around, and then I grab my nail tip and then just lay it right on top. Alright, so now that I already applied my nail tips, I'm gonna wait for the glue to completely dry. And once they're all dry, I'm gonna start filing the side walls. Alright, now that I got that out of the way, I'm gonna grab my hand file and file only on my thumb because all the rest of the nail tips did fit my other fingers from sidewall to sidewall. And I'm just grabbing my hand file and filing the side straight. And I'm going to be doing the same thing to both sides. And as you can see, the hand file is touching the entire nail tip. Alright, so once I'm done doing that, I'm just going to grab my duster and dust all that off. Alright, you guys, so what I'm going to do first is kind of just figure out what I'm going to lay on my nail. A couple things I could do to glue these on. I can either use this nail glue, I can use top gel, I can use acrylic, clear acrylic, or I can use poly gel, but I think I'm out of poly gel. Just try to glue it with this, and I'm going to show you the process, but I'm just going to put some music on so you guys can watch me now. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is kind of cutting the piece of plastic paper that I want and kind of just trying to figure out what I want on my nails. Then after I figure that out, I'm just going to go ahead and cut a piece out. And I'm going to grab my buffer to buff my nail tip so the plastic paper won't be too slippery and it can stick better. And now I'm just grabbing my top clear gel, and I forgot that I have to pull this out. This is a UV lamp. Alright, so now I'm going to grab my top clear gel and apply one layer of it on my nail tip. And now I'm just going to grab the wrapper and put it right on top where I lay my top gel and kind of hold it tight. And now I'm just going to put it right on top of the UV lamp. And I'm going to try to hold it as tight as I can so it can dry. And of course I'm going to have to turn it both ways because I want to make sure this really dries up. Alright, so far it looks like it's dried up, so now I'm just going to grab my scissors and kind of just cut around it. Alright, so I realized that it wasn't all completely glued onto the nail, so I added more top clear gel and kind of just placed it onto the UV lamp again. And now I'm going to do the same exact thing to my other fingernail. Again, I'm going to cut up a piece and then kind of just figure out where I want it. Then I'm going to grab my buffer and buff around that area so the wrapper can stick on better. And then after that, I'm going to grab my top clear gel and add one thin layer of it. Alright, so now I'm going to just place that wrapper right on top of my nail tip and hold it against the UV lamp. And I'm going to have to cure it both ways. I have to turn my finger. And as you can see, the wrapper is not completely sticking 100% to the nail. So I'm going to just have to try, and I'm not too worried about it because I'm going to try other ways. I'm going to use my nail glue and the acrylic to try to glue it back on right after I'm done doing the exact same thing to the rest of the nails. So I'm trying my hardest to make it work with the top gel, but if it doesn't, I'm going to have to try something else. So now I'm just adding another piece of wrapper and I'm just cutting around whatever design I want on my nail. And of course, the first thing I'm going to do is buff my nail because I want that wrapper to stick as much as I can onto the nail. Now I'm just adding one layer of top clear gel, and now I'm just gonna turn that on so I can be ready. And of course I'm gonna have to directly bring my finger down onto the UV lamp. And as you can see, it wasn't working and I was already getting frustrated. So yeah, you guys, I have to hold onto it very tightly and stick it to the UV lamp. Alright, so now I'm gonna have to try the nail glue. So let me go ahead and then just cut around this, and we're gonna have to see if that works. Okay, now that I'm done cutting around that, I'm gonna go ahead and buff my nail once again and just add that glue and stick that wrapper right on top. And so yeah, you guys, it does work better. And I'm kind of surprised because I've tried many things. I've also tried doing like money nails, and it doesn't work with glue. So every piece of paper just works differently with, you know, different stuff. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and cut around this little beast, and I'm gonna have to glue this on my pinky. Alright, so once again, I'm gonna grab my buffer and buff around that nail tip, make sure everything is nice and buff. And now I'm just gonna add the nail glue and just stick that right on top. Alright, once I feel that everything is nicely attached, and as you can see, I don't know, it wasn't completely working 100% either. So I kind of just try to like massage around that area. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my scissors and cut off that hanging wrapper. Alright, so I had to add extra glue so that I can try to make it work. So I don't know, you guys, maybe I didn't buff enough, or I don't know, this happens all the time. Every time I try to like stick stuff onto my nail, it can be like paper, wrapper. The easiest thing I've glued onto my nails is like flowers and petals. Like those are super easy, but different material, it's hard to stick different material or to try to glue that onto your nail tips. But that's okay, because at the end of the video, you know, I always know it's going to be worth it. Alright, and just for the record, I can easily just get one of those glues like the E40 or super glue, but I always try to use like nail glue and nail products, because I know a lot of girls are allergic to like either top gel or even nail glue. So I try to just like keep this very simple for anybody that wants to do their nails, because we never know, there's a lot of girls that are allergic to like different things. So I'm just gonna end up putting the other half of this beast on my index finger, and I'm just gonna do the same thing. Just add that nail glue and then add that wrapper right on top. Alright, so now I'm gonna go ahead and add some glue onto my thumb after, of course, I buffed. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and stick that wrapper right on top and kind of just hold it tightly and evenly, and I kind of just press all around it so, you know, the whole thing can stick onto the nail. And I tried putting it right on top of the UV lamp to see if it dried faster. Alright, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and add some neon colors, and I'm going to be using different colors. So I'm using blue, pink, and orange. And now I'm gonna go ahead and start setting up, and I'm gonna be using the Not Polish monomer, and I wasn't quite sure which acrylic brush I wanted to use. They're both in the size 16, so I ended up going with the Kolinsky acrylic brush that I bought a long time ago off OfferUp. And of course I'm going to add the Odor Out liquid inside the not polished monomer to reduce the monomer odor. And I'm just going to add 3 or 4 drops. Alright, and now I gotta make sure that my acrylic brush is completely clean, and I realized that the wrapper wasn't completely 100% attached to the nail tip, so I had to add small amounts of acrylic and put it under the wrapper and kind of just hold it so the acrylic can dry. And so this acrylic doesn't dry easily. It takes a while. And yeah, you guys, I had to end up just pulling that wrapper off too and grabbing a small amount of acrylic and kind of just laying it right on top. And after that, I went ahead and kind of just blew some air on it so the acrylic can dry faster. So as you can see, it was a bit time consuming. Nothing was working at this point, but I tried to make it work. And now I'm just grabbing a small amount of acrylic and kind of just laying it on top and adding those hearts right on top randomly. And I'm going to be doing the same thing to the rest of my nails before I encapsulate the whole thing. Alright, and again, I'm going to be grabbing a small amount of acrylic and kind of just laying it wherever I want the neon hearts to be. And like I said, I'm just randomly grabbing neon hearts and kind of just laying them right wherever I want them to be. Alright, so after I'm done adding my neon hearts, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the type of beads that I added on to encapsulate my nails. So this is a medium bead, and I'm going to show you exactly how I pick up this bead. So now that I grab my medium bead, I'm going to go ahead and place it right there and kind of just brush it downwards slowly. Alright, for a medium bead, I scrape my brush halfway, then turn it and tap it into the acrylic 2 times. And then I kind of just let it sit on the acrylic brush and lay it right on top of my nail and kind of just brush it down slowly. And once my brush gets dirty, then I clean that off onto the paper towel, and again a medium bead. And now I'm just letting it set onto the acrylic brush, and once it's set, I go ahead and lay it right on top of my nail and kind of just brush it down slowly and gently. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to pick up a small bead. So again, I'm going to scrape the whole brush from one side once and tap it into the acrylic once. And that is a small bead. And for a medium bead, I just scrape one side of the acrylic brush halfway and tap into the acrylic 2 times. And I'm just going to lay it near the cuticle area to kind of build up that apex nice and thick. And again, I'm going to brush it down slowly and gently. And again, I'm going to pick up a small bead and then lay it a hair length away from the cuticle area. And then I kind of push it upwards and then bring it down and kind of just pat it and brush it downwards. And if it needs more acrylic, then I add more small acrylic beads. Alright, so I'm going to be doing the exact same thing to the rest of my nails. So again, scrape halfway, turn the acrylic brush into the powder and tap 2 times for a medium bead. And then I let it set onto the acrylic brush, and once it looks exactly like that, I lay my first bead on top of my nail. And this is a lot easier and faster. That way your acrylic isn't too runny or too dry, and it gives you the perfect amount of time to kind of just mold it and perfect it and brush it downwards. And now again, another medium bead, and I'm just going to lay it there for the apex and kind of just push it back onto the nail and slowly bring it downwards. Alright, so now that I'm done with my index finger and I got the right thickness that I desire, I'm going to grab another medium bead. So scrape halfway, tap 2 times into the acrylic, and let it set onto my acrylic brush, and then just lay it right where I want my apex, and kind of just brush it downward slowly and try to control it. Alright, if this is too thick for you, you don't have to do it this thick, or if you want your nails to be thinner, then just grab smaller beads. And now I just grab another small bead and laid it near the cuticle area, and I kind of just lay it right there and push it upwards, and then kind of just pat it and try to control it. And once I control that, then I bring it down slowly and clean my brush onto the napkin. Alright, so again, I grab a medium bead and then just laid it right there. And now I'm just trying to get that right thickness that I like. And I gotta brush it down slowly. And once I feel that brush sticking to the acrylic, then I just clean that off onto my napkin and grab a little bit of monomer to kind of just mold it a little bit more. Alright, so now I'm just grabbing another small bead and laying it like a hair length away from the cuticle area, and kind of just try to control it as much as I can and make sure that my cuticles are nice and clean. And now I'm just going to add a small bead onto my cuticles around my pinky, and just brush it down slowly. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and skip the electric filing because I'm just going to show you guys a small part, because like I said, I did have to pause. And yeah, you guys, I don't want this video to be super long. So I'm just going to show you guys a small piece of how I hand file and electric file. So after I'm done laying my acrylic and my acrylic is completely dry, I'm going to go ahead and grab my file and file my sidewalls and under the nail. And I'm going to be doing the exact same thing to the rest of my nails. And of course, try to leave the tip nice and straight. And now I'm using my 5-in-1 knot polish drill bit and kind of just file around the cuticle area. So I start from right to left, and I don't spend too much time. I don't spend more than 3 seconds on a certain area because I can burn myself. And once I'm done filing around the cuticle area, the rest is a piece of cake. Then I start filing from right to left around the nail bed. And you leave it as bulky as you want it. But like in reality, they say that your nails are supposed to be as thick as a credit card. But if you think about it, I don't think that's 100% true, because like if you look at your natural nails, they're not as thick as a credit card. So when you put fake nails on, fake nails on, they're supposed to be to your liking. So if you like them thick, then go for it. If you like them thin, then go for it. It just depends on your style. So yeah, you guys. Alright, so after I was done e-filing, I went ahead and washed my nails nice and good with some water and added some lotion onto my hands, because after doing your nails, the acrylic leaves your hands super dry. And now I'm just going to add some top clear gel and cure it for about 2 minutes. Alright, so I hope you guys like my video, and let me know the type of nails you like, what style or how thick you like them, and I'll see you guys in the next video.